Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend DG Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, host of a Totally Turtle sports and gaming YouTube channel, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
Diggity dank.
Hello and welcome back to another week of the Nightwing news. Let's wrap up that darn Joker's last laugh. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, it is.
Hello, I'm Kristen.
And like I said, we're going to be wrapping up Joker's last laugh. So Joker's last laugh 4 through 6, Robin 95, and a little epilogue from Nightwing 63. And that'll pretty much be it because there really wasn't. See, last week I didn't get any new DC books because I guess the last week of the year DC must have shipped their books for 2 weeks, so I had no DC books last week. I had a ton the last week of 2022, but nothing last week.
Yeah.
And then that Batman Urban Legends, which I'm sure we'll talk next week, comes out tomorrow. So
That it does.
And then the Titans TV show can come back at any time because Doom Patrol took their break at the halfway point through the season, just like Titans did. So.
But they haven't said when it's coming back?
No, I haven't seen anything.
So, but Doom Patrol is on break right now.
They did the same thing.
Well, I guess we could see what happens on Thursday.
They did the same thing Titans did. Season 4, they did 6 episodes, took a break, so. Yeah, I was looking at. Yeah, I haven't seen anything. Let's see. My TV Time app. Yeah, I'm not seeing Titans listed. I mean, yeah, I haven't seen it listed anywhere. So,
well, it'll come back eventually, and when it does, we'll be there.
Yes. Yes, the final season of The Flash starts in 30 days. Yes, yay.
Oh.
I mean, boo, that's ending, but yay. So the Flash will be back.
Wait, you know the ending? Wait, you think he's going to... Is it going to end
No,
then?
I'm just sad that it's ending.
Oh, that it is ending. Yeah, right. I get it. Okay.
I mean, it is season 9, so it's, I guess...
That's pretty good.
I know.
Do you think Titans will last that long?
I don't know, especially with, stuff, all the stuff that's happening at WB and HBO. I don't know.
Yeah, and I can't tell if I think... I mean, TV has to be much different than, or fairly different than movies. I don't know if it's how much cheaper, if it is cheaper, or if it doesn't really matter so much with TV. If it's streaming only, or if it goes on the network,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know, they all get budgets. I don't know if streaming might get a bigger budget, but yeah, I'm not sure. But I know, they get shorter. Some of the network TV shows get shorter seasons now, but it's streaming, they get shorter seasons.
Right. So I guess you would think that would mean they're cheaper. I just remember some of the things they said when they canceled Batgirl, even though they had already done it, was that if the intention had always been apparently for it to go to the movie theaters, it would have had a bigger budget. Mm-hmm. And so I guess their thought was they wanted the tax write-off, but I guess it was partially we can't, we can't send it to the movie theater because it's not good enough because we didn't plan for that originally. So I don't know if they kind of do that with streaming or if it doesn't really matter as much with TV.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a big debate. There's a big argument now for places like Netflix are just like canceling. They'll film an entire season of something, then they'll just like cancel the show and not air it. And
Oh, really? So
Yeah,
WB's not the only people doing that?
No, yeah, no. It's like
Oh.
seasons of TV shows, and everyone involved in making these shows is mad because it's really like, you paid for it, we made it, why not just release it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's one thing to cancel something you haven't made yet.
Yeah.
But if you already did it.
And I saw some woman, I don't know if she's a producer or something, was on Twitter today and saying, a lot of times it'll come down to, two or more streaming companies will, battle it out and, for a show. And then whoever wins, it's like, they'll say they'll make it. And then, all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, we filmed it. Well, we're not going to film it. It's like, well, we could have went with this other person. They might have put it on.
Yeah, that sucks.
Mm-hmm. All right. Should we talk some last laugh?
Yes.
Yeah, let's get it over with. All right. So,
exactly.
Well, yeah, Joker's last laugh, number 4. Like we were saying before we jumped on here, we won't spend too much time on number 4 because there's not a lot. Dick really isn't in this.
I don't think he was in it at all, was he?
I'm trying to remember. I'm flipping through here now because I read this all as one big.
Oh,
Yeah, no, I don't think. Yeah, no, Dick's. Yeah, Dick's not in this. But yeah, I was gonna say Batman, even just isn't even in it that much. I mean, it's basically just everything happening at the slab and Joker just causing havoc.
Mm-hmm. Although it might be at number 4 that we learned the guy lied, or is that number 5? They all kind of run together.
Yeah, I'm looking. It might be. Yeah, it might. Oh, or no. Well, Black Canary comes to gets to the doctor's house. Yeah, I think it's. Let me double check here. Well, Black Canary gets to the doctor's house, but yeah, I don't know if he actually says it until issue 5. But no. Towards the end, he does tell her. He's like, yeah, I lied. I faked his test. I wanted to pull a prank on the Joker and make his life horrible as I told him he was dying. Yeah, that's when Black Canary's like, you know what you've done? And then we got Harley trying to reverse the effects of Joker Venom. But yeah, this is mostly just Joker causing havoc and everyone on the slab trying to get home. So yeah, this is probably your least favorite issue, huh?
I mean, I just kind of skimmed through it.
On page 7, you see that guy Batman's punching out. That is the villainous. That's the villain Dr. Light. So.
Oh, okay. Wait, this is in 4 or 5?
4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I know we were talking previously about the 2 Dr. Lights, but. And he does have a different outfit there because he did look different when he, back in the day when in the Silver Age when he fought the Justice League and then the Teen Titans. So. All right. Trying to remember. I don't know. What do you think? They take place at the same time, but what in your mind? What came first, Robin 95 or Last Laugh number 5? They're kind. They're kind of.
I think.
I think barely Robin might come.
I think it's Last Laugh. When you read it in the storyline form, they put Robin in between 5 and 6.
Oh, okay. Okay.
On the app anyway. But I mean, there's not a lot to talk about in 5 either. I feel like, at least in terms of a Dick Grayson show, because he's with Azrael and Huntress is like, "What's up with your boyfriend?" And Barbara says he's in the doghouse, which I guess is a reference to at the end of 3 how they were talking and he left and she was upset and it was Tim that hugged her instead of Dick.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is some of the stuff where I feel like Dick and Bab's relationship wasn't always written that well, that they were so often mad at each other.
Yeah, again, this is another case of, drama for the sake of drama.
Yeah, and then he gets sucked into that kind of portal.
Oh, who?
Dick, Nightwing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then he says, "Oh, I think the main reason I screen capped this was because he says, he's like, Joker, you don't need to do this. We can help you. Actually, Wingnut, you can't. And I'm sort of committed to this plan, and I need you to deliver a message to your dad." Yeah, that's right.
And he staples the note to Dick's chest.
Yes, it just says Gotham Cathedral.
Which, aren't those suits like Kevlar?
It looks like he stuck it with gum.
I know. I don't know if that's supposed to be blood, but I mean, it looks like
I don't know what it's supposed to be, but it looks like bubble gum.
I mean, it looks like a regular staple gun in his hand, but yeah. Because I'm just like,
yeah, but when you see it on his,
maybe you could say
it does
with a Kevlar, but I didn't think it would break through.
Yeah. Although the way they're showing him spinning the staple gun around, it kind of looks like the Millennium Falcon.
But no, we also
we
also see Tim went into Arkham and they have them all tied up. And everyone else is busy, so Barbara sends in Huntress. And then Black Canary tells Oracle, so Oracle tells Batman, "Oh yeah, Joker's not dying, but he still thinks he is." I love it's like they do mention, because yes, John, the Martian Manhunter was in Joker's head in a JLA issue, and he's trying to describe it, and Batman's like, a billion fiery locusts blotting out a dead black sun, and Martian Manhunter's like, yes, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Just another. Yeah.
So for the last three, because of course there's a lot with 6 and a little bit with the Robin one, and then somewhat with 63 and Nightwing. I suppose probably one of my biggest things is, even though I knew this was coming because I have read this before, and plus people talk about it a lot on the internet and whatnot, I felt like the Nightwing in 6 was very different from the Nightwing in 1, 2, and 3. Because in 1, 2, and 3, he was the one that whenever Barbara was like, man, I kind of wish the Joker was dead, he's like, no, we can't do this. And then all of a sudden in 6, he's like, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So I thought,
I didn't think it was in character, but I think that was the whole point. It's like, oh yeah, things got so bad, even Dick got turned around. It's like, oh yeah, maybe the Joker needs to die.
Yeah, and I mean, so I guess the thing is, I can understand Dick doing it, particularly in that instance, because he thinks the Joker's making fun of Jason. He thinks Tim has died. Also, the Joker is actively beating him up, so there is an element of self-defense in there. It just kind of feels weird when you read it with the first ones, where he's the one that keeps being like, no, we don't kill.
Yeah, I think
so yeah, I suppose it does make a point that, like, oh, the Joker's really bad. But also, it also felt weird, and they didn't, I don't know, it just felt weird to me that they would spend so much time making him not like that, then at the end to be like, haha.
There's that, and then I think they're supposed to be like a surprise to it. It's like, well, it's the last person you thought would, if anyone was going to kill the Joker, you always think it would be like Bruce or like Huntress, but no, it's Dick.
I guess.
Because that's always a weird thing too, because like in the 90s and around this time, they always like played it where it's like, yeah, like Batman never like really fully like was behind Huntress because he thought she was too brutal, like more brutal than them. And I'm just like, if she's not killing people, does Bruce have any leeway to throw stones. I'm just like,
absolutely not.
no. It always just struck me as odd. I'm like, if she's not killing, I'm like, he has no room to talk.
Well, and I feel like to a certain extent, and maybe that's why it makes the most sense for Dick to be the one to kill Joker in this, is because I actually don't have as hard a time believing that Dick would kill someone, particularly given the circumstances. I mean, they do. It was just weird to me that why would you have him be saying so much like, no, we don't kill these kind of things. But that given that he thought all these other Robins were dead, Dick definitely makes the most sense to me as someone who would kill someone like the Joker because of what the Joker did to his family.
Oh,
because Dick feels emotions probably. I mean, they've kind of set him up as, he feels the love for his family more, I shouldn't say he feels it the most deeply because Bruce does, but writers are not always, but Bruce is very closed off about it. And of course, some writers don't write Bruce well, and it does seem like he doesn't care about his family. But I feel like even writers who are not as good at writing Dick still get that he cares about his friends and family. So in that sense, it does make sense that he would be the one. And so maybe that's why they did it, because he was one who was like, no, we can't. And so it shows that it was a kind of passionate, emotional thing. And so you could say like, oh, this only happened because he was so passionate and emotional, as opposed to if Barbara had beaten the Joker to death, you might be like, oh, was she planning it? Was she just, I guess.
Yeah, and those first 3 issues, I think they're really pounding it into Dick's head where it's like, yeah, remember? Yeah, he crippled your girlfriend. And now, again, by the end of number 5 and Robin 95, it's like now he thinks Tim is dead. And it's like, okay, he's crippled Barbara. He's killed a second Robin, He's basically killed every Robin except for you. Yeah.
Right. But also, I find Bruce a little bit annoying in this Robin issue and in the last issue, because when they think Tim is dead, and Stephanie's like, oh my God, I know it hurts, but let's not betray what he lived for. Revenge is for weaklings. You have to be strong and deal with this, Stephanie. She's like, someone has to tell his family. He's like, no, not now, not yet. I get it, but also it seems kind of douchey that she's like, oh my God.
But
my best friend, one of my best friends is dead, and he's like, not now.
Well, that is Bruce too, because I mean, he kind of did that with Jason. It's like he kept it bottled up until it just he just explodes.
I know, but you're like, ah.
I mean, again, the man has never been good with loss.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't say it's very in character, but I was annoyed. And I'm like, because that's one of the annoying things about him, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, that is weird when they find his cape and stuff, and Bruce is just like, hey, you shouldn't have come alone. It's
Also, the art is off in this comic.
Yeah, the Robin one is.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's the regular. I think it's a fill-in artist, because I don't even think that's.
It's definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Darn crossovers. I mean, it's not bad, but yeah, again, it's always like Jeff Parker. Yeah, it's especially like when you do like a mini series or something like this, and like it's like completely different art style, and it throws you out, takes you out of the story.
Right, and then I think one of the other things that is okay. So we're in the Robin issue, and we're about to go to is there's maybe a little too much telling and not enough showing. In that, maybe that's what annoyed me, because she says, she's like, Barbara's saying, Robin, you've already had one close call. And he's like, you said that yourself, Nightwing took my death hard, and you've seen a change in him. He still thinks I'm dead. I have to worry about what he'll do. I have to go. And I feel like that makes sense, but they haven't shown us enough to change. Because they spent 3 issues of him being like, no, we don't kill. And then 2 issues where he's basically not there. And then all of a sudden in the 6th issue, it's like, boom.
Yeah. And that'd be something if they actually showed it in his own book. But I mean, we don't see that. Again, we saw him going to the slab in the first one. And then the Nightwing issue, we get this one. It's after the fact. So. Yeah, I don't know if
it felt like, while it makes sense, I mean, this is something I always tell my students, which granted they're not writing comics, they're writing very different papers, but you should be showing, not telling. And particularly when this is a 6-issue miniseries and you've got all these tie-ins and stuff, you should be showing me Dick's like mental deterioration in this, that he's, losing, that he's becoming emotionally clouded, instead of just saying it.
Yeah. I wonder if they thought it was gonna they were gonna show it somewhere else, and then somehow it just slipped through the cracks. I don't know.
Or reverse wise, if you're not going to show it as much, don't spend the first 3 books having him be very much like we don't kill kind of thing. If you could have, like, it just feels. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just.
Exactly. Exactly. The first 3 issues are like, oh, hey, look, I have dynamite. And then it's like, we don't see anyone light the fuse. We just see the explosion. It's like.
Yeah.
And
yeah. So I felt
the pacing is off. The pacing is off. It's.
Right. Because then, all of a sudden they're all like, oh, we have the same Nightwing from himself kind of thing. But just because you all are telling me this doesn't mean that it feels like you has adequately shown me.
It almost seems like, I wonder again if this is another case of like they had a different ending planned, and then the last minute they changed it, and was someone else supposed to kill the Joker? Was it supposed to end a different way?
I don't know. Because then, if we are we done with that one? Are we ready to go to 6?
Yeah, let's go to 6. Yeah.
Okay, because then, when we go to 6, we're finding out. Instead, it's like we sent him to Arkham. It was his idea, just like Jason. We weren't there for him. How long does this go on? And then Dinah says, we know he's not terminal. And he says, I could make him terminal. And then immediately Barbara's like, no, then the Joker wins. So it's like exactly the opposite of what's been happening in issues 1, 2, and 3.
I know. I mean, again, it's kind of clumsy, but I think it's kind of like, Dick didn't want Barbara to be consumed by this, and now Barbara doesn't want Dick to be consumed by this.
Right, because he's like, you're right, Babs. He wins every time. No one hates him more than me. No one wants him dead more than me, but this isn't the way. I mean, I guess, she wasn't openly saying, let's go kill the Joker this time. But, I mean, she keeps saying, I want him dead. He's like, I know.
But yeah, the whole timeline is kind of weird because Dick's with Barbara at the beginning of this, because I kind of feel like this happened, and then Robin 95 happened kind of in between some of these pages. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, then Batman calls in, and they basically, Black Canary, and tells him, he's going to face the Joker.
I did think, like, he did apologize to me for punching me and taking my bike. That does sound like Dick.
I almost feel like Dick could have knocked her out without punching her.
Maybe it was the fastest way.
Maybe. So then Joker has a bunch of his supervillains in this in Gotham Cathedral. So what is that? I believe that's Simon. Isn't it the Titans villain has a shield around the cathedral that they're only letting bat.
Oh, and then he's the one in the pew with the beach ball.
Yeah, I think that's what he told him. He's like, imagine a ball, but imagine it.
Okay, that's why he's like, see the ball, be the ball.
But yeah, then Barbara's just begging Bruce. She's like, make him stop. Don't let him do this. And then the Joker's dressed like Elvis.
Yes. I was like, geez, you wingnut, you look like somebody died. Oh, that's right. You lost another little brother.
Man, yeah, Dick just starts beating on the goons. Joker's like, you idiots, that's the best way you have. Pummel him to death. And he just starts shooting at him. Tells the others to go outside. Where was I? The death of Wingding, the former boy hostage.
That is admirable. It says, I was planning on having Batman kill me. Suicide by superhero. I'm dying anyway, right? So why not get a little blood on his cape? But revenge once removed is sweeter. It really put a twist in his Kevlar if one of his litter did the dirty deed. So, I mean, it is kind of a bummer because that is what the Joker wants.
Oh, yeah. He figures he's dying, so he might as well take, all these
Of course, when they get there, Batman's like, I hope we're in time to save his life. And Hunter's like, I think Nightwing can handle the Joker. He's like, it's the Joker I'm worried about.
Joker, I still don't think you wanted enough. Where's that Killer Instinct Buffalo Wing?
Yeah.
But yeah, Joker gets him down. He's like, imagine how mad he'll be if I whack 2 Boy Wonders on the same day. That's when Dick grabs his punch and just punches Joker in the face.
But yeah, he punches it. But yeah, I mean, because at first he's not really fighting back that hard. He's like, all the deaths, all the pain. When is enough, Joker? And yeah, then when he's like, geez, I had Jason a lot harder than that. His name was Jason Wright. And then that's when he gets really mad.
Oh yeah, Dick just starts pummeling him then. Then Tim shows up.
Cops can clean up the rest, Nightwing. He's had enough. Robin, it's me. No, you're dead. It's a trick.
Yeah, he knocks out because Tim knocks out Simon, so the shield goes down. But Dick's like, no, it's a trick. Yeah, it's a trick. Another sick joke. And then Tim's just on him saying, stop this. It's me. And Dick, what have I done? Then we see the Joker about to go into the light, but then he wakes up. He's looking around. He's like, which one of you gave me mouth to mouth?
I'm just like, we should have let him die.
Yeah. Batman, we don't do that. Not even for him. And Dick's like, I did it. I killed him. And Tim's like, Joker's alive. He's okay. Stephanie's like, yeah, and Robin's alive. And he's like, that doesn't change anything. I lost all control. I let my anger carry me. He was dead, and I was happy about it. He won. Joker won because of me.
So the thing is, I get that it's a comic book and they're not trying to be medically accurate and stuff, but this does not really look like... I feel like if you really beat someone to death, he would look a lot worse.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there are ways. It's like if you hit someone in the heart hard enough, you can't stop their heart. So I'm wondering if that's what, Dick did some fancy move to just stop Joker's heart or something.
Maybe.
Like hit him in the right spot to stop his heart or something.
Yeah, Bruce, which I'm like, man, kind of jerk move, but where he's like, let him go, Robin. He has to face what he's done. That's such a Batman thing.
I know. But yeah, it ends up, all the villains are captured and getting de-Jokerized. And now the Slab's back on Earth. It's in Antarctica. Came back in Antarctica. And they locked the Joker up. And Shiloh Norman, who's the warden, is basically like, he's like, except for one monitor in my office and like a heat sensor, basically no one's watching the Joker. There's no other cameras. That's basically torture of the Joker. It's like, no one can see him.
Yep.
So yes, that last page we see Barbara can't even watch him now. So. And then we get the epilogue in Nightwing 63. I almost said 93. Oh god. There's a Freudian slip.
Indeed.
All right. So
yeah, I suppose that was the other thing. And I guess it's because it's comics and we only have the illusion of change and we have to move on. But it's like, okay, it's bad. But I don't know. Then I feel like Dick's reacting the way a normal person would if you had beaten someone to death, but then thankfully, they got revived, so it was okay. But I guess because we can't actually, invest in time for people to go to therapy and work this through or whatever, everyone's like, oh man, it was so bad that you did this. But then in this issue, they're like, come on, it's not like he's really dead. You know, let's go. And I was like, okay, so we're all talking in the issues about how it's so serious. And then now I feel like we're not treating this with the seriousness it deserves.
I mean, well, who was, I mean, I know Barbara didn't want him to do it, but it's like, did anyone really get on him to be like, oh no, you know, in the previous issues, how dare you do that? I mean, I know they didn't want him to do it, but
yeah, it's like, this is the big thing that everyone's like, we don't kill, the Joker has won, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, they were trying to prevent it to save Nightwing from himself. But then when he, you know, but then when he's upset about it, they're all like, get over it.
yeah, I mean, how'd you feel about because yeah, Blue Beetle and Robin are out, you know, protecting Bloodhaven stuff, but you know, Barbara has like Wally drop by. So what did you think about that Dick and Wally?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. I mean, I thought it was good. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It just kind of annoyed me. But that he's all like the joke. I don't know. I just felt like nobody was. They're like, that's how the Joker wins. You let him into your head. I don't know. I guess I just wish somebody had been a bit. It's kind of like, and this sort of felt like when you're depressed and people don't understand depression. So they're just like, why don't you take a walk and get some sunshine? Like, wow, what do you have to be sad about? It's like, we've all dreamed about killing the Joker, and it was kind of cool. He got the crap beat out of him, and he's not really dead. So, like, no worries. But, like, that's not really how you snap out of something.
Yeah, I know.
So maybe it isn't. I guess I just wish that. But I mean, none of the bads are the superheroes, and of course, this is what 2001, January 02. So it isn't as though. Also, Chuck Dixon doesn't strike me as the kind of writer that would like really be writing about therapy or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I guess maybe that was what annoyed me the most. Was I felt like, and granted, I am not a therapist, but I've done some therapy, and I felt like this felt like people telling you it's not that bad, snap out of it, when really to help you, you should have been like, let's talk through it. Why do you like, let's help you come to terms with what you did and realize you made a mistake, but you're recovering from it. You're not a bad person.
Yeah.
Kind of thing to help him work through the guilt. Instead, they're basically like, don't feel guilty because we all kind of wish that the Joker were dead anyway. And I like, that's not really the way to help someone.
Yeah, I mean, I think too. I think it's like, oh, it's not as bad because it's like, you know, the Joker didn't stay dead, and again, Bruce isn't equipped to have that conversation. Tim's a kid, you know. We'll get that scene in the Robin issue. I think it's like, oh, hey, Alfred hasn't been around. That, you know, Alfred's coming back because Alfred needs to come back.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's part of the.
Yeah, because this is also around the adoption time. Well, because like after this, they go straight into like Bruce Wayne murderer and
yeah, because that's the other thing. After this issue of Nightwing, we really don't bring this up again. You know, Dick, never.
Right? No, exactly. So it's one of those things. I mean, I don't think it's as egregious as them never dealing with the aftermath of any of the rapes that have happened, but
it never gets mentioned again. That's usually,
yeah.
That's usually a sign a story wasn't received too well when they never mention it again. So, and again, like you said, you know, Bruce Wayne murder was coming up. So I'm trying to remember, they might have mentioned it real quick in there when, you know, Bruce just wants to run away and Dick's like, you believed in me. Let me believe in you now. I think there was like one quick line like that. But besides that, yeah, nothing.
Yeah. But yeah, and I mean, and later in the comics, you got more references to the Blockbuster incident than when they felt guilty about that. And I think they still did not do the comics did not allow Devin to do a great job dealing with that, but it got dealt with a little bit more. I mean, he and Bruce actually talked about it. I don't think they ever talk about this.
Well, that's another thing too. This is issue 63. What is it? 71. Devin takes over. So sometimes when other writers take over, you know, they don't want to deal with certain baggage from the last writer. So sometimes, stuff gets dropped or they forget or whatever. But
yeah,
and then Devin gave him his own, his new baggage. So
right. So yeah, it's like I get that they're trying to help. It's just they're definitely going about it the wrong way.
I mean, there really should have been some therapy in there because, I mean, think about that within the span of like 2 years. I mean, he goes from killing the Joker, the whole blockbuster thing, getting raped again. Yeah, there really needed to be therapy going on. Again, too, he was supposed to be killed.
Right, because again, she's even like, damn, you can't quit just because of what we've all dreamed of. Even Bruce would admit it. Don't let it. The world would be better off, Joker. We're dead. Don't let this destroy you. And it's like, I get it, but all of this basically just boils down to snap out of it, which clearly that's not what he needs. So you need to try a different technique. So anyway,
yeah. But yeah, it's so weird because the issue 63, he's beating himself up, and basically Wally's like, it's that's not you, you're not a killer, that's not you, and that he basically throws in his face like, oh yeah, you believed in Barry too, which I'm like, what did Barry do? Barry didn't do anything.
Well, right, that's what I was thinking. So I was wondering, is this because Barry died?
Oh no! Before Barry died, I mean, it ended up he was in the Speed Force, but before Barry died, he was on trial because he accidentally killed Reverse Flash. Like Reverse Flash was going after like he was about to marry another woman because he thought Iris was dead. Very long story, but I mean, he tried to stop Reverse Flash and put him in a headlock, and he basically like snapped his neck. It was accidental, but it wasn't intentional. And I mean, he was cleared by the court in the end. So, but I don't know if that's what Dick was referencing.
Yeah, maybe. Or because Wally's like, I mean, again, Wally's minimizing it. And so I think that's the techniques that they know, but that's clearly not the best technique for what he's going through. Because he's like, come on, we know, just because you almost killed Joker. And he's like, I didn't almost kill him. I did kill him. And Wally's like, I know that's not you, Dick. And he's like, well, you believed in Barry too, but I did kill him. And so it's like clearly people trying to minimize it isn't making him feel better. And so then I think that's the thing where they're like, do you want to play martyr? I never thought you'd end up like Bruce. I'm like, he did kill someone. I mean, that is kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I know that is weird. And like, I think it's just the art, but it almost looks like he's smiling when he says that. And I'm just like, Wally looks a little too happy when he's saying that.
Right. So I get what they're saying that, one bad act, we made it better, this kind of stuff. But I don't know. It just is so weird to me how they're always like, we don't break this rule, blah, blah, blah. And then he breaks it and everyone's like, don't worry about it. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
It's very weird. It's like, how did he get over it? Because, we do see him in costume on that last page, but it's like, we never see him like, basically tell himself, we don't even see him tell himself, you know what? I'm just going to pull it out of my head and move forward. We don't see again, after this issue, nothing.
Right.
Because the issue after this is that Christmas one, remember, with the little girl and the doll? It's like,
yeah, which I very much enjoy that issue.
Yes, very, very totally different.
Yeah, like definitely 180 kind of thing. Yeah, so it's just, I don't know. It's just weird. And I guess that's the thing is, I just feel like if somebody said, yes, I understand that this is a big deal, let's talk through it. What do you think are some strategies you could use to not have this happen in the future kind of thing? But yeah, instead, everybody's like, it's not a big deal. Get over it. And clearly he does think it's a big deal. And it is a big deal. I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, and very weird. And again, I mean, I know he did kind of a little bit of therapy in Titans, but I think I'm sorry, Tom Taylor, I think we need another, maybe even just, him to, going to see a therapist one issue, just be like, you know, I'm getting closer. I want to be good in my relationship. So, hey, you know.
Hey, maybe though we've deleted all of this baggage because
well, you know, that's true.
Who knows?
We've rebooted the universe a few times. So yeah,
we've rebooted. I mean, clearly he doesn't have the blockbuster baggage. We haven't seen Tarantula, so that's one rape that hasn't happened.
Oh, that's true because I mean, you know, yeah, Blockbuster was alive again to get killed again. So,
I mean, I don't know. We haven't seen Mirage, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird. I mean, obviously he was with the Titans still, but it's like, yes, did that happen? No.
Well, and sometimes I forget about it because again, it was a terrible run in Nightwing, but sometimes people mention it in fan fiction. I mean, when they went back and kind of retconned it was after Devin's run, how he lost his virginity, and basically he was a teenager and some older woman took advantage of him to get closer to Bruce. Like, okay, that's another one.
Yeah.
So maybe all of that baggage hasn't happened.
That's the weird thing, yeah, with DC and all the reboots and everything. It's like sometimes it's like, oh, well, this happened, but this didn't happen, and it's yeah, I'm thinking.
I don't know. Some of them definitely have not happened. But I like Joker's Last Laugh. I don't know. Yeah, we're kind of up in the air on that one. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I do like that you see the picture of him. Although Jason totally looks like a demon in that little picture that Dick is looking at. Just the way his he totally like the art style. Everybody looks very. They're very long, elongated, and they look a little demonic sometimes. Jason in particular in that picture. But I do like that he's looking at pictures of Jason, and they do hint at, you know, he had somewhat of a relationship with Jason. I mean, clearly since it affected him so much when the Joker.
And I think it's just shading or something. But if you look at that picture real quick, it almost looks like Dick has like a little like goatee or something, or like a soul patch or something on his.
It looks like they both do. It looks like Jason has one too.
I know, but yeah, I think it's just the shading. But yeah. This artist who was drawing Nightwing or the book at this time, yeah, wasn't really my favorite. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, it depends on what he's drawing because he does this next one too, I think, and I kind of like that one.
Yeah. The one with the Christmas one, yeah.
Yeah, I think this might be Trevor McCarthy. Is that right?
Yeah, Trevor McCarthy. Yeah.
Yeah. Because actually, I have some of his, or I have the one from the Christmas one where he says, I got Char's letter, and he's like, I'm just an elf. I have that one. So I like it in a certain mood. I like it works. It's just that picture of him and Jason cracks me up because legit Jason looks like a demon.
Well, that kind of tracks.
Aw, this is Robin. This makes me magic, Jason.
Oh, there's a. Oh, was that? Do you ever read? I think it's after Devin's run. It's like the next writer on what is it? Gotham Knights or whatever. They did a flashback to Jason's time, and there's like one scene. He's just like sitting there, like smoking a cigarette or something. It's before he died. Yeah, he was like, smoking a cigarette, and you know, I think Barbara was like, "Does Bruce know you do that?"
Yeah, because isn't that where CPS comes to do a chat about it with them?
Oh, it might be a character.
Yeah.
But yeah, depending on who's writing, yes, Jason was absolutely horrible sometimes.
Right. I mean, I guess to a certain extent, I mean, we just have to admit that has happened to most of the characters. Although it is a bit extra unfair with Jason because he really has not been around that long.
Yeah.
And he was still fairly young when they did that. I mean, obviously Bruce has been written many ways. And, you know, sometimes, I mean, Dick has never been written quite as big of a jerk face as Bruce, but sometimes he's kind of a douche.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole last laugh thing is it's the downside to you know, we get stories with dick that you couldn't necessarily do with Batman. Like, you know, like the good side is, you know, he can be close to people. He can have a sense of humor. He can smile once in a while. But then you get the stuff where it's like, oh, we don't want Batman. We don't want pages of Batman killing the Joker. I'll let Nightwing do it this, you know. So this is the downside.
And like I said, it kind of makes sense, and I'm not necessarily totally opposed to the idea. I just wish they had shown it better. It just felt jarring to me that in the first 3, every time Barbara's like, "Man, I wish the Joker was dead," he's like, "Hey, we don't do that." And then he's the one that did it, and then how there's like no really, he just gets over it by everybody telling him it wasn't that big of a deal. Get over it. I'm like, that's not how it works. That's not how guilt works.
I almost feel like, is that like meta commentary for the audience? It's like, yeah, get over it. We're not going to talk about this anymore.
Yeah, maybe.
That's kind of what it seems like.
Because it's not even tagged as part of Last Laugh.
I know. Yeah. I guess they feel like, you know, you're reading Nightwing, so, you know, kind of know where you have to go to get this. Whatever. So anything else on this?
I think that about does it.
Yeah, again, it's like,
I guess, well, okay, I said that and now I want to say something else. For me, when I first read it, I don't totally like it. And then when I think about it, I can understand some of the choices. But then when I keep thinking about it, then I start to circle back around to being annoyed at some of the choices.
Yeah. And again, it's like something me and Lilith were talking about the other day. It's like around like the turn of the century, like the early to mid like 2000s, comics got dark. A lot of comics got dark. So I don't know if it kind of infected here. So, you know, we started getting stories like, yeah, let's blow up cities, or, you know, let's dirty up this character.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not as though I would say that New Teen Titans was necessarily light. No. Because it wasn't, but they did have times when they would be light-hearted. You know, there would be times when they would do fun things. You know, they went to swim at Steve Dayton's pool and those kinds of things. But also, there was a lot of relationship building, so I enjoy reading those. But yeah, this is... For me, I like reading comics that do relationship kind of stuff where I can see the sort of family or friend dynamics, or I like things that are kind of happier. Yeah. So that's kind of partially why I do gravitate towards a lot of older comics that are a little more goofy, because it's not as dark and serious. And it's not that I don't necessarily like some of the dark and serious stuff if it's building, you know, like Terror of Trigon is pretty dark and serious, but, you know, you see the Titans relationships and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, this stuff with Tom Taylor's doing, the tone of it is really perfect for me. So this is some of the Nightwing stuff that I've enjoyed the most since I've actually ever got back into comics. I enjoyed a lot. I noticed a lot of people on Facebook saying they're like, oh, this is great. This is the best run since, you know, it started Dixon and Scott McDaniel. I like it much better than that. For me, it's tonally more what I like. Dick's not quite as angsty. For me, the end of the Nightwing was the best part of the run. And of course, that is heavily colored by my love of the Middle Ages and him working at the Cloisters Museum. But I did think that went out on a very strong note as well. And that was not quite as, oh, am I good enough? Kind of thing.
Yeah, and kind of the only reason they ended that is because they made him Batman. Mm-hmm. He had to take over all Bruce's books.
But yeah, it does pain me a little bit to say it because obviously I love Dick Grayson. But his first Nightwing, or technically the second one if you count the 4-issue miniseries, was definitely uneven. There are some really good issues in there, and then there's also some stuff where you're like, let's just Pretend this didn't happen.
Yeah. All right. All right, we good?
Yes.
All right. So next week we're going to cover Detective Comics 697 through 699.
So wait, hold on. I gotta write that down. When is that?
It is in the 90s.
Okay, what is it? 697 through 99?
Yes. Yeah, nice little bruise.
Oh boy, so was it gritty?
No, it's not too bad. No. Even though it's Chuck Dixon, it's not too gritty. No, it's a nice little Bruce, Dick, and Tim team up, and it's the first appearance of a character from the animated series, Lockup.
Oh, all right, nice. Yeah, sounds good.
I think you have more fun with that than you had with Last Laugh. So
sounds good. Everybody was just so sad and angry in Last Laugh.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
The Joker does that to you.
That era, a lot of comics got dark. All right, yeah. So yes, kids, come back for that. And we should have our last issue of Batman Urban Legends, so we can maybe talk the last 2 issues of that, because there's some Dick Grayson in there. So yes, so send us your thoughts. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can follow Nightwing News on Facebook, on Twitter. Follow Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks on Instagram, Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network on Hive. The YouTube channel, breaking news, kids. Today, we finally hit Lilith Hellfire's goal, 269 YouTube subscribers. So you're welcome, Lilith.
Wow.
Now the road to 369 starts. So smash that subscribe button so you could be one of the lucky few.
Smash it.
And the Patreon, because once again, we're paying for this out of our own pocket. Every little bit helps. With $3 to $5 gets you early access to creator interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats. Where's my button? There's the man.
I got the good mic out for you guys.
All right, superhero movie brackets are over. Thank God. We can listen to the whole thing now on Patreon. And again, we're probably having some bunch of one and dones and maybe some older shows that we don't do anymore. Bring them back for 1 or 2 episodes on there. So keep your eye out. And if you subscribe to the Patreon, yes, you can make suggestions. We already have a list from Justin. So yeah, send in your subscribe and send in your suggestions. And of course, pick yourself up some Capes Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks merch. Find it all at Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. And of course, again, it's not yet, but sometime in the next few months, Kristen's birthday is coming. So you want to get her the perfect gift and yourself a gift. Pick up Dick Grayson Boy Wonder on Amazon. Again, how great is that? You give Kristen a gift and you get something too. Entertainment and knowledge. So yes, Dick Grayson Boy Wonder on Amazon. All right. Thank you for joining us. Again, sorry, I thought it was going to be this week, but next week, Batman Urban Legends, I think it's 22 and 23, the last 2 issues, and Detective Comics 697 through 699. I'm pretty sure, yes, Kristen will enjoy those more than Last Laugh, so.
Sounds good.
And I like the art better too. I think that's Graham Nolan. Yes. And lots of good stuff coming, including an issue I'm sending to Kristen for her birthday. That's made the list this year. So
I'm interested to see what's up. See, this is going to be fun for me because you picked all of them. So I'll always be like, oh, a surprise.
Join us same wing times.
Same wing channel.
Nightwing News.